All right. So hello, everyone. Welcome. It's already August, which feels wacky. That's way too soon. And for August, because I knew it'd be a little warm, we want to think somewhat cool. So we did Milo for the month of August. It's a 35% linen blend, which is kind of your standard cool weather fiber. The rest is still merino wool, but it is very light and drapey. So it's a beautiful yarn. As with linen, it's just going to get softer and drapier over time. So that's really nice. It comes in a ton of great colors. Let's get this mannequin out of the way. Lots and lots of solids, which is really cool. And then a whole line of the variegated colors, the space dyed ones. And the space dyed are 31 per skein. The solids are 30 per skein. There's 380 yards per skein. These are nice, generous skeins. You can do a lot with just one skein. And then even more with two or more skeins. So it's a beautiful yarn. This is going to be a hand wash. It's a single ply and it's not superwash merino. So yeah, it's going to be a hand wash, lay flat to dry, but it's beautiful. It's got great drape, really nice depth and interest because of that twist with the linen. So it's got kind of a heathered feel. There is a mild halo from the linen, and then also because it's a single ply merino, you're going to get a very soft, squishy halo of merino as well. Obviously not as much as a mohair, but it's a beautiful yarn. So that's Milo, the yarn itself. Love this yarn. It's just really nice. I really like all the colors. They do a lot of really fun, bright poppy colors, and then a lot of great neutrals that kind of go with everything. I mean, look at this. Like, I think Maxima is the only other line that has this range of blues and greens, which is really fun. And we've got all these neutrals, but I think one of the neutrals is going away. So yeah, great yarn. And I have so many models for you. So make sure you went to the bathroom and you got your popcorn ready, because we're in it for a while. We got a lot of Milo models. I'm going to start out first with what this mannequin is dressed with. She's quite stylish. We'll start with her accessory. This is called, any questions about the yarn, I guess I should say, while we're here?
How do you spell Milo?
M-I-L-O.
Oh, Milo with an M.
Oh, yes, Milo. Yes, Milo with an M. M-I-L-O.
Okay.
This is called the Etting. Whoops, oh, there we go. This is the large version. There is so the pattern comes with a small version, which is 1 skein, and a large version, which is 2 skeins. There is a note that says the small version takes up almost the entire skein of yarn, the one single skein. So I'm wondering if that means the large, you have some leftover, in which case, if it was me, I would just keep knitting until I ran out of yarn, because it is one of those patterns that easily lends itself. You're going to start in this tiny little corner and you're just going to keep building. You've got blocks of repeats, so you can just keep going. And I don't think it would, like, I think it would be the lace bit is a very nice edging, but I don't think it would be an issue if you had a garter edge on there either. If you just wanted to use up all your yarn. I like to use up every last scrap, so I probably would. So this is the large version. The small version is going to be more like a little neckerchief. Still a great accessory. This is, everyone has loved this color coming in. This is rainbow trout, but you can see, even with all those colors showing through, you can still kind of see that nice lace pattern, even with having, might help if I had it right side, right? Even with having a variegated yarn, you can still kind of appreciate that it's got some lace work going. And of course, a solid yarn, a solid color is going to show off that lace pattern even more. So you've got the entire range that you can play with to make this scarf. So I think that's really fun.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great point. That's interesting to see that in a variegated.
Yes, yeah. And it's been interesting watching folks come in and they're instantly drawn to it because of the variegated yarn. You know, it's this one. And even though it's got all that lace, those big lace blocks, it still looks beautiful in the variegated. This is a really cute little pop over vest. It's called Gamma.
Gama.
Correct. Yeah, it never really wants to focus on there. So 2 to 3 skeins just to make this little popover in still quite a wide range of sizes, but because it's a vest, you don't need a whole lot of yardage. And again, those generous skeins of 380 yards, those can go pretty far. So this is a great layering piece. I think you could use it by itself, definitely. It's got these nice little slits on the side. There we are. How cute is that? But this would also be great, you know, you throw this over a shirt or your dress as an extra little layer piece. Super cute. Plays with texture. I was looking at the rib earlier and it's really quite interesting. And so I was like, I'm gonna look this up. This looks kind of fun. And it's actually called fancy rib, in case you're wondering. It's a fancy rib stitch.
Oh.
Per typical Manos patterns, they do a very good job of explaining all stitches and all, you know, all the components. It's kind of hard to see there. It won't focus for us, but it is a really neat, it's just one of those little details as you get closer and you're like, wait a minute, that's not typical. That's really pretty. So it's just very simple, but plays with textures. You could probably do this in the variegated. I would probably stick to the solid color just because you're going to really show off that texture better. That's not to say you couldn't make the whole thing in, you know, simple stockinette or choose one texture and do it in the variegated yarn and it would be beautiful. I think it's just such an interesting piece for your wardrobe that, yeah, have fun with it, play with it. Again, you can see that kind of, it's drapey. It's really nice. Really like this yarn. That was the Gamma. And let's see. This is one of their newer patterns. Yeah, we've got a great mix of garments and accessories. So I'm quite excited. I forgot just how many I brought in. I kept pulling them out of the box like, wow, and another one, and another one. This is Narcissus. And this is one of their newer collections by Elizabeth Smith. She did a whole collection in various yarns. This, the highlight on this great little mesh lace detail. And again, all of these garments, well, no, there's one. Most of them are made bottom up. There's one yoke sweater that's made top down, but you'll make this bottom up. You're gonna pick up your sleeves and knit in the round down to a beautiful, sweet little lace detail. So classic Elizabeth Smith, it's a straightforward pattern, some minimal detailing or minimal shaping, and it's the details that really make it very sweet. You know, you've got this kind of faux yoke line at the top and this very nice little neck detail. Very cute top. Let's throw it over here. Our naked mannequin. Crew neck. It's really a sweet little piece. And you can see that really nice semi-solid that Manos is known for. Very subtle, beautiful stuff.
That's very nice.
I like that one.
She does nice designs, well-written patterns too.
Yes, she always does well-written patterns. And even when it's not Elizabeth Smith, I don't think we ever really have problems with the Manos patterns. This super cute. This is a collar. It's called Braddock. It is one skein. You work it top down flat. It's got this cute little stitch. I want to call it a little fly stitch, but I don't think it's a fly stitch. That makes me think of embroidery. But it's just this very subtle little stitch. And the shaping is what's adorable. And this little button. Look at that great button they chose. So you've got a little collar. And because it's a Milo, it drapes perfectly over your shoulders. Seed stitch detailing around the nice big fold over collar and around the little collar. It's like a mini capelet. People are calling them collars. Very popular right now. Very cute. I really like this piece because it's a nice little addition. It's an accessory to keep your shoulders warm. So I think you could, if you're, gosh, you want to go somewhere and you've got your cute little sweetheart dress and you want to take off your sweater, but your shoulders are going to be cold. Well, this has got you covered. Yeah, no, I think this is a great little piece. Versatile. Also, I think this would be really cute on young girls. I think it's small enough. You could put it on little grandkids, young schoolgirls. Very sweet.
Perfect for picture day.
Perfect for picture day. It'll stay on until then.
Yeah, the yarn is so soft, like you were talking about over a dress. Yeah, that if the yarn is so soft, it wouldn't bother you.
Right. And so, it really is just to kind of keep your shoulders warm so you don't get chilled, but your arms are free, nothing in the way. It's almost like wearing a towel, but with a totally different feel and style to it. So it's kind of fun to have that option to switch it up. I love this piece. This is a pullover. This is the one that is top down yoke style. Stretched out like this, it's hard to see, but the way the increases line up, when you wear it, it can look like it's kind of pleated in the front, which is really cute. And then the sleeves are done straight and then gathered at the hem. So they make a slight balloon, which is very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this one. This is simple stockinette, so you can easily do it in a solid or a variegated. This is a great place to play with a variegated. Gosh, you could even stripe this. Oh, I should probably tell you what it is. It's the Jessica lightweight pullover. There's a whole Jessica collection done in various yarns a few years ago. I personally am a fan of I think every single pattern in the Jessica collection. It's really nice. So you can see a bit more when we've got it on here. As you're wearing it, it kind of bunches and almost looks pleated. It's very cute. So it's got some rounded edges, some corners. Your sleeves are going to kind of puff up and billow around your wrists. Very cute. Jessica pullover. I'm not even a fan of green, but this pullover looks great. This is Perrin, 2-skein scarf. This is one of those that's done in a sequence where you kind of just learn a knit and purl combo and you work that knit and purl combo and you get an all over texture. So it's very easily repeatable. You just kind of, you do your number of knits, your number of purls, and you go. And you've got this great little accessory at the end. Little slanted edges, 2-skein piece, so it's fairly generous. It's kind of wide. I bet you could easily modify it if you wanted to make it wider and make more of a wrap than a shawl. Maybe add another skein and make it wider. And then you've got a shawl but it's a great piece because it is so drapey and it's really not that thick. You could easily kind of wear it bunched up as a scarf as well. And so it's simple, it's got this all over texture, and it really lets the yarn shine with its drape. And yeah, even some sheen. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see the sheen or not. Yeah, you can. That the linen gives it, and that really subtle heather, the heather of the color and the slight changing of the yarn. It's great.
I always think of Milo as kind of a rustic take on a smooth merino.
Yeah, a rustic take on a smooth merino. Yeah, I think that could work. Because yeah, the linen gives it a bit more tooth, but it's still soft. And yeah, it gives it a heathered color.
Yeah.
Breaks it up. Yeah, there's some of those features that we consider more rustic. This, I think we're okay. This one, I love this one.
Mm.
This is called the Letitia Street House. I'm assuming, no, I looked it up. What was it? I think it's like a famous house over in Pennsylvania, I believe, because that's where the Fairmount Fibers is. So this is Letitia Street House. This is worked bottom up with the split hems. With those pieces, you work them flat and then join them, work in the round up onto the armpit. And then you're going to knit flat and seam at the shoulders and then pick up and knit your sleeves in the round. Very simple little garter finish here at the edge, rib at the top, garter at the edge again. And what I find so fun about this is playing with the colors. So I made kits with it because that was fun. So this one comes with kits. This is Letitia Street House. It's very cute. Simple little pullover. Use it for layering, wear it by itself. I really like this. And so let me.
And are those slip stitches? Is that what that?
Oh yes, sorry. Should I tell
Pattern
you about the
detail?
pattern on it?
Okay.
So it's done with stripes. And then yes, these are slip stitch patterns. And this bit is done in a you're actually doing a garter stitch here. Is it garter or purl? Anyway, there's some depth. There's some, whoops, these stitches are going to pop out. They're like little tiny mini seed stitches. And so you've got your slip stitch in between that breaks it up and makes it look like dots. And then the dots themselves are kind of raised with a purl stitch. And so, yeah, you've got a little bit of a texture there along with that fun striping. And it's those little dots. So yeah, very easy slip stitch. It's not, color work or anything. You're working with one color at a time and you're just slipping that stitch up just to cover it, to cut the line there and make little dots.
It's a really neat piece. It's striking what there at the shop. It's one of those that I see it attract a lot of attention.
Here we are. Oops. Okay. So here's our website. You're going to go to kits. And under the Manos kits, you can go down to the Letitia Street House. There it is. Super cute. Very casual. I like that the sleeves are kind of wide. They don't taper, so they're kind of airy feeling. You can buy the pattern separate as usual, as per all of the yarn, the patterns we showed you. And some of them are free, some of them are purchase. And here are the kits. They're numbered in sizes, and you can find the sizes down here. So we've got size 1. This is our finished bust circumference. So you're going to want to, figure out how much they suggest a 4 to 8 inch positive ease. So whatever your full bust measurement is, you want to add 4 to 8 or personal preference, and that will be the size you choose. That finished number will determine which size you choose. Size 3 is only one little size, just by the way the yarns worked out for yarn quantities. So those are the yarn quantities. This is the model, obviously. I love these warm colors, possibly my favorite. Oh, so for these, I always like to have fun little silly themes to what I name these kits. I couldn't think of anything, and Tamara suggested rocks, and which made me think of sedimentary layers. And I said, you know what, that works. So I named everything after minerals and rocks. So this one is called gypsum. Your top skein is going to be the background color, and then these skeins are going to be your little stripes. This was one of my favorite kits. I like it because even though this is kind of subtle and neutral, this makes it feel very tropical. I think it's a very happy piece while not being blaring in your face, because this is going to be your background. So these are just kind of a happy little pops that don't take over the whole piece. Highlight, so your pink background. I love these dark, rich colors that are really going to pop on this pink. I think they play really well together. And slate, kind of your typical, very trendy grello colors. So your background in black, it's going to go with everything. It's got that gray and yellow combo that is so popular, but still being quite neutral for just this little tiny pop. As always, you can, of course, choose your own, and we can help you with that. I think while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and show you the other kit I made, because I don't have the model for it. I got excited to make the kit for it, but I think I had so many other models coming in that I forgot that I didn't actually bring this model in. But we had it before. We had it in the scarf version for Feliz. Well, they have the full shawl version they did in Milo. So it's beautiful. This bit is deeper than the scarf version. And of course, you've got a great big swath of the Milo up top. And it's just lovely. So you're going to have that beautiful drape of Milo, and all this fun colors. And this bit that again is just slip stitch. It's not stranded color work or anything. You're just slipping stitches, so it's very approachable. Again, they did that where this is a garter. You got 2 garter ridges here, so it really stands out from the smoothness of the stockinette. So your little color pops quite literally pop out of your fabric. So it's pretty fun. So we've got, oh yeah, I did a whole bunch of these because that was fun. So this is schist. Oh, and what's our quantity? Well, we won't worry about that. You'll get enough yarn, 1 skein of the main color and 2 skeins of the contrast color. So the top one is going to be the main color, and the bottom one is going to be the contrast color. I wanted to keep the background kind of low key and make sure that contrast color really popped out and you had some fun with it. This one's called Schist. This is Tufa. I love this one so much. I wonder why.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. This one is Quartz. I think this is great. It's almost swapped, like, oh, this will still obviously stand out from this because they're so high contrast, but I love that the background makes such a statement. You've got this beautiful, rich purple color, and almost, what magenta or fuchsia, I think is more the word than magenta. And then this really fun, subtle variegated one that's got some of that purple in it, but it's also got some blues and grays. This is a really neat skein. So that's Quartz. And we've got Flint. This is a very kind of, I don't know, autumny rustic color combo. I think it's beautiful. We've got these golds and rust in here along with some deep blues. I think that's lovely. Appetite. So you've got, you know, again, you've got this high contrast, but you've got threads of the main color going through your contrast, which I think makes for a really nice combo. Breccia. I hear that there are people that like green. I don't know. But yeah, there are some of these skeins, these multicolored ones, I think are just beautiful. They've got, you know, they're not totally saturated. They've got some of that natural color in the background, and then they've got these beautiful pops of these color combos, which I think are so successful. And then you put it on this beautiful mix. You know, you can even see all the different greens that are in that one green, I think are lovely. Now we've got chert. This one was fun. I wanted to have fun with this. This is a great blue, and this is an exciting skein. You've got all of this, but at the same time, this is very fun and exciting, and you've got the whole rainbow in there, but this will help keep it from being just overwhelming. This would make a fabulous little easy go-to throw accessory on with everything, because you've got just that little bit of pop at the bottom while having a very, you know, neutral blue at the top, but a beautiful neutral blue. And shale. Again, the same kind of idea. I wanted something poppy and exciting, and hoping more people would go for it. I put it on a neutral background, so it'll mellow it out a little bit, but so you can have a thing that goes with every, you know, an accessory that goes with all of your outfits and still have a little fun there at the end. So that's the Interesting Bits shawl. I really like this one. Okay, so let's go back. Stop share. All right. Then, oh, I think we're down to all the accessories, and there are some beautiful accessories. This might be a little distracting, so I'll take this off. Letitia Street House, like this a lot. You can very easily too, you can pick out, you know, whatever background color you want, and then just do all of these stripes and dots in one color if you want. You could do a solid background and do variegated stripes and dots. That would be a great way to play with color, and to play with that variegation.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah, I think that would be really nice. And so, and you could pick, you know, whatever your background color, especially the neutrals, do like the creams and the whites and the grays, really going to make your stripes and dots pop. And yeah, go crazy, have fun. There's so many great variegated colors in the Milo. That would be a great option. Here's here's one of our first accessories. Not the first accessory, but the Rapido cowl. This one's called the medium because in the pattern you get 3 sizes. There's a small cowl, which I believe is shorter but taller. And actually I think it does these repeats twice. So if you imagine this, you know, shorter and then twice as tall, that's the small, because the whole project just takes one of each color for any size that you choose. So you can buy your yarn and still not know exactly which pattern you want to do, because the yarn quantities will work for all 3 sizes. And then there's a much longer loop that works. Yeah, so, oh, they just tell you the one for this one. So this is really neat. These are done with short rows, just these little leaflets of short rows. And I think it's very fun. And other than that, you're just, you know, doing garter. So it's not too tricksy. I thought I saw it seen here. Yeah, and it kind of goes around. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, it just twirls around, steps up, and then there's your mid, and then it steps down again. And then you can use your contrast colors, your band on top and bottom. So it's a really cute little piece. I myself, I like the really deep cowl, the small version, but I love that the pattern comes with 3 different sizes for you to play with. And this is a really fun piece to practice or get into doing short rows. I think that'd be very easy And Milo is not going to give you too much trouble if you have to rip it out a few rows. You'll be okay. And it's a small section, so it's easy to play with during those short rows. So I
It was
really
a
like,
neat piece. Yeah.
yeah, it's neat. Rapido
Yeah.
cowl.
And I think some of the color combos you put together for the interesting bits would go great for this
Ooh,
hat.
yes, definitely. Yeah, you can get your inspiration from
Right.
one of those. Yeah, and put together your own cowl kit. We can help you with that. This is another cowl. This is really fun. Oh, this is called the SIBO cowl. One skein. And you can see how much one skein can get you, especially when you're doing lace work. This is a sizable piece. So this is long enough to you can always do the kind of dramatic low drape where you just let the whole cowl kind of drape down. Keep your little tummy warm too. But it's also long enough that you can double loop it up, give it some more stability and stand up and show off that beautiful lace. So it's a very nice kind of, make sure I got it going the right way. It might be upside down, but it's at least it's right side out. A classic lace stripe or lace pattern. So again, if you want to try lace, if you've never done lace before, I like this, that you've got breaks in between where you can just do some nice little garter ridges in between. And the lace panels are kind of broken up. I like that they're broken up with bands of 3 and then single bands. And it's just kind of this endless loop. I think it's beautiful. I would, to really show off this lace pattern, I would probably stick to solid colors. Not to say that you can't do the variegated, but I think if you really want to show off your lace, stick with a solid color. And probably at that, one of the somewhat lighter colors. Unless you're wearing white underneath, I don't think your black lace will truly show out. So that's the SIBO cowl.
Beautiful piece.
Whoops. My pile's toppling over here. A little hat, you can't go out with a little hat. This is like a floppy. I don't think they call it a beret. I would try to wear it as a beret. It's definitely a little bit loose. It's got this really neat bramble stitch, which I believe is close to or synonymous with blackberry stitch or Trinity stitch, which blackberry stitch is known as. They give you full details on how to do it. So you get this little 3D nubbin that looks like it's on a background of lace. It's kind of fun. There's some venting for your head. And then with some little solid bits, so you can, wear it kind of jaunty split to the side, in the back. It's beautiful. And you've got this, you do have some shaping and a nice little spiral at the top, but then they still did some gathering. So that'll give you that fun little boosh at the top, which I think would help make it look like a beret too, depending on how you wear it. Very simple little 1x1 rib there at the bottom. I like that they're so tiny, little nubbins.
You made it a lot longer too. You could make a really cute slouchy hat with it too.
Oh, definitely, yeah, because it's kind of, it's built to be slouchy, but it's not totally gathered. I'm not a fan of the tubes. They go up in a straight tube and then they gather, because then it gets too bunchy at top. So they did do some shaping, but they've got a little bit of gathering, so you still get some fun poof, but it's intentional. That is my tad hat. Might help again if I tell you what the pattern is.
Yeah, I really like that.
This one's cute.
I was gonna say that.
And I wonder if you could get 2 hats out of one skein. Certainly, I bet you could get like a very simple beanie and this hat out of one skein. Be worth a shot.
I'm impressed at the stitch definition of Milo. That always,
right, for being a single ply. For being a single ply, it really does. I mean, you can see all those beautiful little V's. Usually a single ply is going to fuzz and blur a bit more. Applied yarn is what, if you really want your stitches to stand out and be crisp, we're going to suggest applied yarn to you. But I think it's that linen that really kind of helps hold it in and keep it all together that gives you still a nice definition for each stitch. This is a really cool skein. I will admit this was a surprise in the box. And then it came and I was like, wait, why didn't I just bring this in though? I missed out. So this is called Whiz Dinger, which is really fun. This is one skein of 3 colors. Great way to play with colors. And again, we've got those fun short rows.
That is such a fun piece.
I think it's really cool. Yeah, like I said, I think I had so many other models coming in that maybe I was feeling greedy, but I was happy to have this little stowaway. Yeah, I
And
think
it's got a great name.
it's a whiz dinger. How can you pass on a whiz dinger? And it's got, you know, it's not super deep, but it'll definitely cover your shoulders. And it's really long, which I like. And I think the stripes are so interestingly graphic.
Yeah.
You've got these great big wedges and then these mixy stripes. You can change your colors and you can do like this where these are, you know, high contrast and we're jumping big leaps from color to color. You could also do it far more simple and subtle. You know, if you did cream and then a pale gray and then a dark gray, or you could just, you know, you do a yellow and a pink and an orange. So again, a fun way to play with colors, very graphic, a simple accessory piece that would go with everything. Nice garter, so it'll lay flat. You don't have to worry about it curling up on you. I always kind of like those things. I think garter sometimes is overlooked as, well, that's not, I don't know, people say things. I like it because I don't have to block it when I'm done. I'll just throw it on. It's fine. Who's got time to wait for blocking when you get to wear your new piece? So yeah, look at it. It's long enough. You can throw it over your shoulder. Super cute. Like this one a lot. And then, dare I say, the best for last, we have some other shop models that are ours that I'll show you after I show off our last model from Fairmount. So this is our last model from Fairmount. And it's might be my favorite. Not that I'm biased to crochet. I might be a little. Make sure I got it going the right way. Yeah. This is a huge crochet shawl.
Wow.
And I love this piece. It's super simple. It's almost silly how simple this is. If you can chain and do double crochet, you can do this. Because all of these little mesh bits, those are just chains. You connect them and stack them with a little, that's just like a single crochet. Top down, so you can just keep going forever. But I think this is a great size. This is the Petchin, 2 skeins. Milo is great for our crocheters because crochet does eat up a bit more yarn than knitting. So Milo is gonna help you make up that difference with all its generous yardage.
Well, that's impressive. Just 2 skeins?
That's 2 skeins because it's that nice open work. You've got so many of those chains going on, right? And so it makes a kind of solid feeling fabric, but it's super drapey and it's kind of romantic, right? It's kind of a romantic shawl. I like it. It's got some romance in it.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Partly it's the color too. But yeah, so all of that chain, all these little chain gaps, they just make the whole thing kind of float and drape. It doesn't feel too thick. It's going to be airy while still having that warmth halo, still going to trap in some warmth for you, but not overheat you. You've got this lovely scalloped edge. Always love a good scalloped edge.
You could probably do that in one of the variegates, couldn't you?
You could easily do this one in the variegates. You've got the entire Milo line to make this piece with. And I think it would turn out fabulous. Yeah. I think I need one of these. Yeah, I love this piece.
That's
I
very
would
good.
also say if you are just learning crochet, you're, maybe I wouldn't learn with this piece, but if you have done some crochet, you're a adventurous beginner, an advanced beginner, you could definitely make this shawl. And I think it'd be a very lovely heirloom piece that you would keep for a while. I love its size. Its drape is beautiful.
What color would you make it?
Oh, you know me, I'd probably do it in the Casbah. Although I already have something in the Casbah, so maybe I'd do it. Look at this one. I think that's fabulous. I probably would. I think Oz is correct. You could easily do it out of a variegated. I think for me personally, I would stick to a solid, but that's just totally personal preference. I don't think it would necessarily look better in a solid versus a variegated. Although it's heat, but I like all these colors, this gold, this
Yeah.
one. I think it does look very romantic in some of these lighter colors. If you did, this really soft mossy green, I think would be very lovely.
Yeah, that would be spectacular.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for that romantic quality, go for one of these really pale colors, and it's gonna be very airy, right? It's gonna float on you. And I think that would be lovely. You could do it in Bacata. Yeah, that's exciting. Your options are endless, but I think it would also, I mean, goodness, you could do it. How dramatic and lovely would it be in either this one, this, what is this called? Zebra. So you've got your grays and creams and black. Manchester's your orange, or not orange. Manchester's your black. I think it'd be really striking like that as well. That's the thing. This shawl is gonna look great in anything. You're gonna do it in any color. I'm gonna love it. Send us pictures when you make this. Everybody make one. Choose your own color. Let's do it now.
And how many skeins does it take?
Just two for this huge shawl. This thing is massive. Look at that.
Yeah, that's wild. That's impressive.
I like it. So if you're gonna wrap it around your shoulders, you got quite a bit. It goes down your arms pretty far. Covers your back. And then, but yeah, my favorite is kind of just do this great big swath around your neck. Wow. Ooh, look at that. And because of this mesh, so it doesn't feel bunchy, doesn't feel too thick, and it's still going to drape beautifully. And because it's so big and your tails are so long, it's not going to continuously slide off your neck all day because, it's slipping down. You've got enough to hang down. I've even seen folks where underneath you can kind of lightly tie it to hold it in place. And so you drape that part over the top and it almost looks like a great big cowl. And your shawl's not going anywhere all day long. As you're dancing around, your shawl's going to stay in place. Yeah, no, this is a beautiful piece. I like this a lot. So those are our Manos models. Like I said, we've got models in the shop that we have year round. They're ours. One of them is designed by Chris. Sure, you've all probably seen it before. Very versatile piece. This is the East Village poncho. This is one size, 3 skeins. There's our neckline. Seed stitch edging. The construction of this is really interesting. You are actually starting, you're gonna work it this way. So that bottom edge is your cast on, and you're gonna go up to a point and put half of it on a stitch holder and knit the other half up to the top of the neckline. Put that on a stitch holder. pick up your stitches down here again, knit up and join and keep going till you get to the end. And what's nice about that too, is let's say, oh, well, you know, I'm not a fan of the high-low. Some people really like it, some don't. Because of the nature, how it's made, very easy to adjust where you put the neckline. So instead of, you know, I don't know what the numbers are, but instead of, let's say it's 100 stitches and you do 40 over here and 60 over here, we'll just do 50 and 50. So it's easy to adjust where you have your neckline. It would also be easy to adjust the overall length. You just cast on some more stitches and just your neckline. You're going to want to cast on more stitches to make it bigger rather than keep knitting. I guess you could, but it's just going to drape down your arms more than necessarily be longer. That's the East Village poncho designed by Chris.
Yay.
And knit in 3 skeins of Milo. If you do make any modifications, you will have to buy a 4th skein. The 3 get eaten up pretty solidly in this piece. So any modifications outside of moving the neckline, if you're lengthening it or whatever, you will have to buy a 4th skein. But you can easily move the neck around without buying a 4th skein. That's the East Village poncho. And then, oh wait, no, I lied. That was a different yarn. That might be it. I'm a liar. I kept tricking myself and thinking that this one had Milo in it. You could do it in Milo, but this is actually done
Good.
in Fino. But you could do this part in Milo if you wanted, and Fino. That would be beautiful. This is the twined flowers free pattern. Short rows. Whoops, there we go. Short rows. All right. So I think that's it for Milo. What do we think? Any questions? Do we want to see anything up close more? You want me to show you the kits on the website again?
I was going to say, why don't we show all the colors on the website too? And I'm sorry, did someone else have another question?
I can show us the colors. I can show you the world. All right, so you'll go to yarn and let's see, if we go to Manos, oops. Crikey. Who's driving this thing? Manos del Uruguay. And then it's easier to go over here to line. And we'll go down to Milo. And here's all of our colors. I think they're just kind of mixing. Yeah, I love this madder color. That's beautiful. They're very rich, some of these colors. They're interspersed, so you've got your space dyed kind of intermingled with your solid colors. They're all here. And as always, we're happy if we don't have the quantity you need, we can order you more. We'll ship it all over. It's nice and squishy. It arrives unbroken. There we go. Those are our beautiful colors.
Very Instagram worthy colors, a lot of them.
They are. They really are. There's some really neat depth to them. Stop share. I'm trying to think. Do we have that? That was it, right? I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think so. I think we did it all. Can we? Dare we say we're done?
Now, what size crochet hook is that piece done in? Do you know?
Oh, if only I knew. I can find out for you though, very easily. I pulled it up. Just give me uno momento.
What's the name of the pattern, Belle?
This one is called Pechin, P-E-C-H-I-N.
Thank you.
Pechin. I always worry. Oh, I guess I could show you. Ooh, that's what I'll show you. There are some other, I will show you that. There are some other Milo patterns on the Fairmount website, which I think are lovely. And we can get them for you. Give us a call if it's not on our website. Where are we at here? No. The Milo Pradera. So they've done the Pradera wrap in several different yarns. And this is the version made out of Milo. And what they do is they hold it double throughout. So you've got this beautiful kind of elongated arrow shape. So you've got your point at this end and your feathering at this end. And you hold it double, which gives you this lovely slow transition from one color to another. This is a great shot of it. So it's gonna change. So if you think of it, so you've got your 4 colors and you're going to do, you know, A, and then drop one strand of A and pick up a strand of B. So you're working A and B together. And then you're gonna drop that strand of A and you're gonna work 2 strands of B together. So it's gonna be B, C, C, D, D. So you'll move through it that way in a subtle transition. And again, you can do it like this, where they all kind of blend together and flow, or you could go from, you know, one extreme color to another one that doesn't maybe quite blend as beautifully, but because you're holding it double, you can make anything kind of stretch to each other, which is kind of fun. So I think that's why they've done the Pradera wrap in so many different yarns, is that it's so versatile. It's a great size. And it's really fun to play with all those colors. So that was that.
And
This,
that's done on 10, so it kind of flies.
yeah, it's gonna go quick for you. This one wasn't out when I was choosing my model, so this is a newer one. This is a really, Chris and I were looking at this earlier. It's a really neat little, you know, little cowl. You've got a fun little drapey mesh and these really pretty cabled braids kind of going up the center there. Long enough to kind of drape down and then also loop over. Yeah, I think that's really pretty. That was that
The
one.
Pradera, by the way, you had created kits for it. So we have Pradera Milo kits. I just looked it up
Oh,
on the
did
Ball and
I?
Chain website.
I meant to do that.
I knew you meant to do that.
Here's the Rapido cowl. So here's where we can see all those other styles. So this is the small one where it's doubled up, you know, it's twice the height, but less circumference. And here it is longer. And so you've got all these different fun versions, and this is all in the one pattern that you get. So I think that's really fun. And like I said, it's really neat. You just need one skein of each color and you can make any of these. So if you can't decide which one you want, just get your yarn and decide later. And let's see, I think that was all. Oh, that's what we were, that's why we're here. So we're looking for our needle size. So our crochet hook size is 5mm for this pattern. And of course that is dependent on personal gauge. 5mm is pretty good because this is technically a DK yarn. So that's going to open it up a little bit, give the yarn room to breathe and fluff up. I think the biggest telltale for me, what I would do is do a little swatch. If you're unsure about your hook size, if you're thinking maybe you need to modify your own personal hook size for, you know, your personal experience in crocheting, I would do a swatch of double crochets because that's where it's really going to tell. Otherwise, you know, it's just these great little fun, easygoing chains. And that's another thing, man, this pattern is going to fly because you are just doing all these great little, you're just zipping along here doing chains. But where your hook size is going to tell is in the shells. So do some shells or just a little swatch of double crochets, and that'll give you a better idea of what your hook size should be. I always try to go for, you know, I want them tidy. I want to see the stitch. I don't want them too stiff, and I don't want them kind of falling apart. So there you go. Any other questions? What's this one? Oh yeah, look at that. How cute is that? And I love that you can choose, and I don't really show it here. You can choose, you know, gosh, what a cute to do a little vintage button. I think would be really adorable. on this. You know, you put your own little, you've got a button collection or a little brooch. I think that'd be really sweet. Gosh, you could even pin your fancy little brooch right here. I think that would be adorable, even on this part or on the little collar part. Yeah, you could add this to anything. I think it'd look really, really fun. Kind of jazzy. Jazzy. I like that word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other
yeah.
questions? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, why don't you show the Pradera Milo on the ball and skein site?
Oh, yes. I got super distracted and I totally forgot.
All right. And almost all these patterns that Belle is showing are on our website as well.
So if we go to extras and patterns. Wait, no, you said it's a kit?
Yeah, the Pradera Milo.
Barrel wrap kit Milo. Wow, look at that. All right. Oh yeah, these sound like names I would come up with. So this one's called Grotto. Oh, this is before we had the fancy drop-down menus.
Right.
So yeah, you can see how you can move from kind of, you know, these colors, and they go together obviously, but they don't lend themselves to be subtle shifts. But as you move from one to the other, it really works. You know, you've got aspects, there's kind of this purpley tone to this, but it also will go really well with this blue. And then, you know, this will blend between these two. So you really get to play with that. This one's waterfall, kind of sticking more with the neutrals. I think we need some more color combos in here. This as shown, we'll give you exactly what that looks like. And this one's bizarre. So here you've done it with, these are all of those variegated colors. So they probably have aspects. Yeah, I don't think I did put these together. Are these their color combos maybe?
You know what? These might be theirs.
I think these are their color combos. But I like their naming. But yeah, very, again, we love playing with color. We will always help you pick out color combos because that's the fun part. So you can give us a direction, you know, even if you just said, okay, I want, you know, my A yarn to be this color and I want my D yarn to be this color, we will help you fill in B and C. We love that stuff. Or you say, I want something, where am I going? Oh,
I want a sunset.
yeah, you could tell us, I want a sunset. I will help you pick out a sunset. That would be fabulous. It's probably going to involve this color.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah,
makes sense.
we could easily do that. Yeah, and there's enough blues and greens. You could have an entire subtle wrap just in blues or just in greens. We've got enough reds. Oh my goodness, you could do a really nice, you know, you go from this to this to this to this. I think it'd be lovely. And that's kind of a purpley mulberry wrap. You've got options. We will help you choose them. And of course, all of these fun colors. Yeah, look at some of them, they're so subtle. I think I find Milo so interesting because they've got these really subtle, delicate colors. When I think of Pheno, I think of the subtle, delicate colors. But then they've got these really fun, you know, really bright colors. And I think that they kind of run the gamut. I think that's exciting. All in one yarn line. That's the Milo.
Yeah, that's so neat. When Milo first came out, it was just like 8 solid colors. And that was everything.
Yeah.
And
It's
now,
really grown over the last couple of years.
yeah, it really has.
Yeah, look at all those. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, it's frankly one of my favorite of the Manos yarns.
It's nice. It is really nice. 65% merino, 45% linen. I love a good linen blend.